Hello, hi, my name is Harriet, or on the internet, I go by Robin sometimes. If you have at all been on the internet, or at least the art corners of the internet recently, then you may have heard of a game called Art Fight. Now, if by some miracle you don't know what Art Fight is, let me break it down. According to the website, Art Fight is an annual art game that lasts for 1 month, beginning every July. Players attack people of the opposing team by making art of the original characters you choose belonging to members of the other team. So, basically, you draw and get points. It's really fun. I've been participating in Art Fight since 2021, where I was on Team Steampunk, and I've joined and improved every single year since. So, this year, I figured I would try to document my experience. This is going to be a mostly positive video since I've never ran into any problems with Art Fight and I'm tired of people being negative over a game that is meant to bring artists together. I would like to note that I think some of the drama that revolves around Art Fight is completely fair. If there is a dark-skinned character, you shouldn't be drawing that character with light skin. But that being said, I think a lot of the other drama is quite petty and unnecessary. No, people don't owe you a revenge, and no, people don't owe you quote-unquote good art, since good art is subjective. Anyway, yeah, this is my Art Fight journey for 2025, Team Crystals. Let's go. The first person I attacked was my friend. I drew their coy human character with an experimental style. Art Fight is always a great way to practice new things and take a step out of your comfort zone. It is definitely the time of year where I get the most work done. I mean, just the amount of attacks I got done this year was insane. It was the most I've ever gotten done in 1 month, I believe. I made a total of 14 attacks in the first week of Art Fight, and started my first ever revenge chain with someone that I am now friends with. That was really fun. I've never done a revenge chain before, despite this being my 5th year participating in the fight. It's just never something I've taken the time to build up, but I did this year, and oh my god, I can't wait to do it again next year. Art Fight is a perfect way to connect with artists in the community, and especially artists who have similar interests to you. It is just so fun and so perfect. I really don't regret anyone that I've met on Art Fight. So I'll put up all the attacks I got on the screen, and all the attacks I made on the screen right now. I know I'll have like a speed paint of an attack or two that I made while I'm speaking, but I can't show all of them since I made a lot of attacks this year. So week 2, I made a total of 10 attacks. Now, on the side and in the background of making all these smaller attacks, I was making a bigger attack. If you already are subscribed to me on YouTube and you've seen my animations, then you've also already seen that attack. It was a big animation attack that I spent basically more than half of the fight on. I spent hours on it, and it was the biggest project I've ever tried to take on. I did finish it, and if you want to go see that, then just go to my YouTube channel. There is a lot about it I would change, but overall I'm happy with the outcome. Here are all the attacks I got during the second week. Don't know why I struggled to say that. And here are all the attacks I made during the second week. Week 3 whacked me in the face. I got sick for a while this week. I had survived pretty long in a house full of sick people for about a solid 2 weeks, but it had to catch me at some point, and it finally did during the 3rd week of Art Fight. Not only did I get sick and have a constant headache, but the MCU got their grubby little hands on me, and my little autistic brain got a little bit too fixated on it. The MCU had me in a chokehold. I cannot believe it, because Marvel, of all franchises, is not something I would typically fixate on. I have never been a fan of superheroes. I don't know what went wrong. I watched like 10 Marvel movies within like the first 3 days of gaining an interest in it, and I wasn't slowing down either until school started back up. I watched a few of the movies while I was working on Art Fight attacks as well, but oh my god, I got really distracted. I did make 14 attacks, which I think is pretty good, including finishing the mass attack I mentioned earlier. Again, I think this is impressive just because of, like, I was feeling pretty bad that month, but I was having a lot of fun with Art Fight anyway, so I finished it. Here are all the attacks I made this month, and all the attacks I got that week. Not month, week, my bad. The final week of Art Fight. The score had been neck and neck the entire month, 50-50 or close every time I checked. I've personally never seen a Art Fight season that was this close. Even while writing this, I still don't know who wins. Maybe by the time I finish editing this, we will know, but maybe not. If we get it revealed while I'm editing, I'll put it on screen, but for now it's a mystery. I really hope Crystals wins, because that's my team, but I have a lot of friends on Team Fossils, so if they win, then good for them. I think it could go either way in my opinion, based on how close it was all month. I mean, last time I checked when I went to sleep the night that it was ending, I think Fossils was winning by like 0.01%, which is an insane, like that's not that much. But I also went to sleep when there was still 6 hours of the fight left, so it might have ended by the time I woke up, but it could have also pushed over to the Crystals side in that time that I was taking a little nap. But it doesn't really matter who wins. The point of Art Fight is to gift art to people. Here are all the attacks I made in the final week of Art Fight, and all the defenses I got in the final week of Art Fight as well. So, the fight is over, the game is over, we can no longer register attacks. I had a fun time this year like I always do, and I met some awesome people and I got some awesome art. I got like 64 defenses, which is insane. 64 drawings that other people made for me. And I myself made a total of 58 attacks. 58? That's a lie. I meant 53. My bad. Don't know why I said 58. 53 attacks during the entire month, which is my highest record now, so yippee! My goal was actually 40 attacks, and I beat that by quite a bit, so I'm proud of what I accomplished. I think everyone should be proud of what they accomplished this Art Fight season. Art Fight isn't a negative event, it's described as a art gifting game, so gift art. Don't make it about competition or points or even how much art you get in return. The game is about drawing for others. Don't feel so bad if you don't get many attacks. Let me yoink your Art Fight usernames for next year. I'm gonna bookmark. I typically start bookmarking really early, typically 5-ish months before the fight starts, so we will see. I want to try and beat the amount of attacks I make every single year, and that's what I've been doing, but 53 attacks and trying to get 54 attacks to beat this year for next year seems a little bit intimidating to do all in 1 month. But I'll see how far I get. Art Fight is so fun. It's genuinely one of my favorite things. I look forward to it every single year, and I do a lot of prepping, and it brings me a lot of motivation and joy, and I think that everyone should try it, no matter the skill level that they think they are.